What are your top 5 tips for delivering value as a general counsel?
Well, first, the key thing as a general counsel is to really understand what value is and means. So value means something different, potentially for different people. In my role, I've tried to understand, what is the sense of value that the board of directors has? What does the SLT require? What do our senior executives require? What do different parts of the business we work with require in terms of legal skills? Then we aim to put in place strategies and processes that allow us to deliver that value or perceive value. And then we have regular check-ins with all of our stakeholders, and they're really designed to make sure that what we're doing does provide value, and if we need to make adjustments, then we do that. The second key tip, I think, for delivering value as a general counsel is, again, all around alignment. So it's trying to align the objectives and the functions of the legal team with the objectives and functions of the company as a whole. So I think as part of that process, it's important to regularly check in with the senior leadership team to make sure that they are happy with the way that the law department is supporting the business. So I guess the third tip for adding value as a general counsel would be try to be proactive. So try and find out how you can help clients. Don't wait for them to come to you. Being proactive, it might be reaching out to them and saying, look, we can summarise some legislation for you. We're invited to seminars with our law firms. We can also invite internal colleagues to those same seminars so that they're getting the same information as we are. Can be even doing networking. So for example, we use some of our law firms to host functions for our clients, and that's a good opportunity for our internal team, salespeople, client account executives, to actually network with clients at a legal function, for example. The fourth tip I'd offer in terms of adding value as a general counsel is really focusing on developing and growing your own team, your legal team. This is really important for their own personal development. So at Unisys, we spend a lot of time doing knowledge sharing. We do a lot of collaborative work together. Every single person on the team has an individual development plan, and they are really personalised plans that have a set of targets, tasks, goals for the individual to help them grow as a professional. So the APAC Law Department is truly a high-performance and award-winning legal team, and we're very fortunate to have an excellent leader in our Global General Counsel. So the potential and achievements of a high-performance team are very, very powerful, especially when the energy and abilities of the team are aligned with the objectives of the company. I think my fifth tip for adding value as a general counsel is to look for efficiencies. For example, these could be cost efficiencies, for example, through retainer arrangements with external counsel, or they could be operational efficiencies, for example, by leveraging technology better.
How do you actively promote the value of the legal team beyond legal advice within your business?
So look, I think it's really important to try and find every opportunity to do so. What I try to do is always give call-outs to my team. So we have many forums, for example, senior leadership forums, executive forums, and even just internal catch-up calls and so forth. Always try to give them a shout-out, give them recognition for the excellent work that they do. And we always find that people achieving individual recognition awards is a great source of motivation and really does encourage them to do excellent work. Another way of promoting the value of the legal team, I think, again, it's around being proactive and reaching out to the business, and offering again to help, offering to give them access to legislative updates, to training courses, things like that show that the legal team really wants to be a part of the business and support the business.
What do you have to be conscious of within multinational companies and when managing global teams?
So I think I've become aware of the importance of really understanding specific cultures and cultural nuances. I've got a team across Asia based in India, Australia, and also Taiwan. I've become aware that each of those team members, they have very specific and individual ways of approaching situations. They have different sensitivities. They have a different sense of how things should be done in terms of what's appropriate culturally. I think it's just very, very important to be mindful of that when working with them. So I think we really need to try and understand and respect those differences.
How do you maximize stakeholder engagement with the CEO, board, and commercial teams? How does this differ between groups?
Stakeholder engagement, I think, is all about understanding what's important to each of those groups. For example, trying to understand what is important for the CEO, for the senior leadership team, the directors, as well as business groups that you work with. All of them have different priorities, different sense of what they need to achieve. I think it's really just trying to work with them to perform the best role that you can in supporting whatever their needs and objectives are. So I think by becoming a trusted advisor, you're then able to see issues through the perspective of the people that you work with, which helps you achieve outcomes which satisfy their needs. So this differs between groups, as different stakeholders may have different priorities, different pressures, different needs, objectives, and so forth. And it's very important to take these into consideration when interacting with them and planning. So this reflects another notion that I learned from my MBA, the idea of what they call contingency theory. So this is the idea that optimal outcomes require strategies that are based on the individual and unique circumstances of a particular situation, which enables flexibility and adaptability.